Buenos dias from my garage. Tuesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, also known as. The word of the day, per the Webster Merriam Dictionary. And by the way, we got Hawkeye, our co-star. Yep, he is a star. Where's Henry? Henry, come here. And, Henry's on the other side. Henry's over here, see? He's under there. Oh, you just unplugged the light. But the word of the day, adapt. The definition is to make fit as for a specific or new use or situation, often by modification. Seems like I got to do that a lot, especially at work right now. Henry, whoa, Henry, you're getting tangled up. Hold on. Henry, come on. I guess we'll do it without the light. Sorry about that. Henry, he's a good boy. He's a good dog. He got tangled up. But anyway, adapt. That's what I had to do at work. There's been some personnel changes, and that's what we do. And before I was sitting in here, I'm pretty comfortable in my garage, and I was sitting in here and I was listening to Joe Walsh, because I got a big speaker over there, and I'd like to do my rock and roll, and one of the things that, because I am adapting, I thoroughly enjoyed the 70s, and probably a little bit too much. Well, for sure too much. Anyways, how's that? I'll just hold the thing. And with that being said, when I thoroughly enjoyed the 70s, there was a lot of illicit things that I put inside my body, that were not legal. And to this day, they're not legal. But they are doing it. They have, and a lot of it was called LSD. And I probably did a little, and I'm wondering if that had any effect on me. Probably did, because, I think everybody's a little bit nuts. And one of the things, I keep telling people I don't get a haircut because my barber died, which is true. Joe the barber, he cut my hair for 30 some odd years. And and then there's a state law. It's called the Crown Act, CROWN. It's creating a respectful on workplace, and they can't discriminate. I forget how the acronym goes, but they can't discriminate against natural hair, and so. And I feel I'm being discriminated against a lot anyway, because maybe because of my behavior, maybe because of my looks, maybe because of just being white. And I didn't want to bring race into it, but I am discriminated against, especially with the cops. I got pulled over, on the airfield, and they said I can't drive on the airfield. Well, I've been driving on the airfield all these years while working at LAX. Then I get an email today saying that no personal cars can be driven on the airfield at Van Nuys or LAX. And I feel I'm being discriminated against because there's other inspectors at LAX that they're driving their personal cars, and I can't drive my personal car. So it's kind of make it difficult to do an inspection if you can't get to the job site, especially if it's on the airfield. So that's enough of my bitching today. I had to adapt. That's where we're going with this. Where's Henry? Oh, the dogs, they adapt pretty good. Like when Henry hears me raise my voice, he adapts and he goes inside his little cubby. And Hawkeye, he just comes here and tries to console me, like this. he'll come up and say he just wants to be petted. And that's how he adapts. And that's probably good for me to pet him. But that's 5 minutes into the thing. I did one this morning, but I just had, maybe I shouldn't complain. But I think people have to vent. And right, Henry? Do you have to vent? Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Are you going to give me 5? Are you going to smile, Henry? Can you talk? Can you talk, Henry? Hawkeye? Speak. Well, what else do you got to say? You already ate dinner. Okay. You guys need a bath. You stink. Sorry, but it did rain last night. And nothing smells worse than a wet dog, I'll tell you that. Well, there's probably something that smells worse than that, but, I do love my dogs, and if they stink a little, that's okay. If Henry stinks a little, I don't mind, but if Hawkeye stinks, get the hell out of here. But look at Henry's just... You're a good dog. My sister likes when I put the dogs on TV, or whatever you want to call this, my camera. But anyway, the same old thing. Do something for somebody else for fun or for free because you want to, with no expectation in return, and you will be amazed. What happens when you do stuff like that. And if you're out in the grocery store and see an old man or old lady, say hello. If they look confused, just say hello and, hey, do you need any help? They say, yeah, give me all your money. Then, that might be a little bit too much help, but maybe you could point them to the bank. There's a gun store, this bank go. That's just, that's how you adapt. So. I have to adapt to that. What do you think? Do you think I should go see a hypnotist to try to hypnotize me away from saying Hawkeye, do you know? He doesn't know. So, but maybe I'll look into it. I think it bothers me more than anybody because I recognized it when I was watching the video, and I do watch the videos when I get home. And I think Hawkeye likes to hear himself bark. Did you say anything today? Speak. Hawkeye, speak. Hawkeye, speak. What else you got? He doesn't have much to say today. Henry never has much to say. Henry's a quiet type. Maybe I should follow suit, adapt to Henry's style. There you go. Maybe, should I adapt to Henry's style? What do you think? Hawkeye winked at me. I just love the way he winks. I don't know how he does that, but anyway, love you all. Do something for somebody else for fun or free because you want to. Wow, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, bye.